For Julian, Brett John.
Chris. Oh,
Megan.
I see Megan. Hey,
Megan Chandler.
Yeah.
Oh, Megan.
I lost. Sorry.
That's his better half.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Oh, all right.
You just have a memory of
Bro.
a snail. I don't,
It's not even a
Zero.
snail. It's like a flea. It's like a
Or a
flea that
tick.
the last 2 days.
A
A tick.
tick.
Yeah, a tick. Just
that you want
burrow.
to just flick off.
Right? Wow.
Are your guys' camera working?
Hi,
'Cause,
James Fritz.
Ours are, I think, now.
Megan Chandler, Julian Miller, Brett Johns. Can you move the stuff? I want to see what's this girl's in the red.
Nobody has their
Maria
camera on.
Simonton, Shannon. Something's bad. Something's not happening right. Something is wrong.
What? Turn
Hi
the camera
guys, turn. There you go.
There you
Hey
go.
Jason, how you doing, bro?
We got
Here.
Jason.
Hey
Oh,
everybody.
there we go.
Wow.
Guys, we don't
Chad and
know
Amy.
what's going on.
Yes.
Victor, how you doing, man? Hi Joe.
Julian looks
Joe.
like he's on his bunk at the county jail.
Yeah.
He's
Goes
got
mad,
he's
kick
got
it
like
back.
like pictures of his family up
my
pinned
God.
up behind him, taped up behind him.
Yeah.
He's in his
Don't let him do you like that, Julian.
he's in his wife. It's
Like he's
okay,
kind of in
Julian.
a cell.
Julian,
It
what
does look
happened?
like he's kind of in a cell.
I mean,
No, it doesn't.
you must be a big boss though to be having a cell phone up in there, huh?
David Bindus, how you doing, bro?
I think a booger almost came out.
Chris Hirschfield,
Ew.
I know.
Cody
Like,
Daughtery or
What?
Doherty or hey, bro.
hi, Matt.
Doherty. Joel always.
Chuck.
Joel's already wants to talk.
Joel.
Joel, sorry.
Oh wait, let's put Joel on.
That's
Maybe
fine.
he knows something we don't.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if y'all know that or not.
What?
What?
Well,
Huh? Uh-oh.
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 our cameras were disabled. The chat was disabled too.
Yeah, how about now?
Wait, what about now?
Try chatting.
No.
What
I
are
mean,
we-
do just fine without it, but I was letting y'all know.
Thank you.
Thank you. It was.
Hi, Von Lewis.
Here we go.
Wait,
We're
it's
back.
back. Yay!
We're back.
Nice. Jason,
Back
how
in
you
the
doing?
game.
Zach. Shannon Price. Serenity.
Oh,
That
that
was so
girl's
weird.
is
Brett
she
Johns.
gonna be okay?
Who?
What?
The one that almost fell down the mountain last week, Kimberly.
Oh my gosh, you guys.
Oh, there's Ian.
Hey,
Where's
Ian, how you
Ian?
doing? Right there, in the middle.
Right next to the restoration recovery.
Oh, there he is.
Right next to Luke Daniels. Cannels, but not Daniels. Hey, Luke, how you doing, buddy? What's that, an Oakland
Oh.
Athletics hat on there or Montreal Alouettes?
Joe B in the house.
You know what, Luke? I don't read lips anymore. I gave it up.
All right,
when I
let's
got
get
married.
this party started, man. I'm excited.
Are you?
Yeah,
Look, on a scale of 1 to 10, where are you?
8.
Really?
Yeah.
8's a high score, bro.
Yeah.
Wow. You see, it seems like you might be easy to please.
I mean,
I'm just
This
saying.
meeting honestly does it for me, and usually by the time we're done every week,
Yeah.
I'm feeling like a 10, and
That
I'm
is
ready
true.
to go. I get home, I grab Teddy, we head upstairs.
You scratch him with your foot?
Yeah, I scratch him with my foot.
Nice.
My poor dog, you guys. I'm not like the best like animal lover. I do love my dog, but I don't really like to touch animals. So I pet him with my foot, and they all make fun of me. And my dog's funny because he just wants to be touched all the time. So
Yeah.
he'll like come and knock my foot off of whatever it's on, so that he'll get pet. Yeah.
Victor, we ate our tacos already, bro. Yes, every Tuesday is Taco Tuesday. Ricardo's, hard shell,
I know
3
Matt.
beef, 3 chicken.
Poor dog. My wife tried to get me like one of those back scratchers where I could just like
Oh my gosh.
scratch you.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Is
Oh, jeez.
Anyways, guys, welcome to the Tuesday night Recover Out Loud meeting.
Yeah, really, we like to have a fun time around here.
Yeah.
But this meeting happened with a tragedy. Chad lost his son-in-law a few years ago on 9/11 of 2022.
Yep.
Yeah, bro. Sad day, and one that nobody ever forgets. I don't think. I mean, when you got a tragedy like that in anyone's life, it's burned into your soul.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Like
that's the whole-
forever.
That's the whole reason this podcast exists. So
Yeah.
it's like the Justin Forever continues on.
Right?
Yeah.
Which is
I
awesome.
mean, and what's cool about it is that like I wouldn't know any of you guys except for Shane, probably.
And that would be a tragedy.
I know.
Yeah.
Right.
Because if you're like the sum of your 5 closest people, and Shane was like
Number 2.
number 2,
You'd be in trouble.
God.
yeah. So he's like number 5.
I mean that lovingly.
No, I'm like a 5th, 6th maybe. You know.
Anyway,
That's good. Yeah, right.
let's get into it. I did start a podcast with my daughter who found Justin dead, the love of her life. It's called Spit and Image. You guys should check it out. The last episode that we did was her talking about the day that she met Justin. And our next episode that's going to drop probably at the end of this week will be the day that she found Justin dead. So it's gonna be that one's going to be a really powerful one. And we both have to kind of like get ramped up for it emotionally.
That's not easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jesus.
So it's been a powerful, just, you know, because I'm an addict. My daughter witnessed a lot of stuff from my addiction, and she became an addict and an alcoholic, and she's now 8 years sober.
8 months.
8 months.
I'm sorry. 8
She'd
months.
be like getting sober so young.
Yeah. 8 months sober.
Yeah.
And it's just been a powerful bonding experience for her and I
It's
to
huge.
be able to reconnect and, you know, get through the stuff that we need to get through and show the world
Mm-hmm.
that, you know, we can get better together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. And tonight we have Steph. I'm super stoked. I've had the pleasure of hearing his story in person,
Mm-hmm.
and excited to hear it again tonight. So you'll have a little clock up there on the screen. They'll give you about 20 minutes or so. Take as much or as little of it as you need, and you're up, man. Steph, it's you. It's your go.
Okay. Thank you guys for having me. First, I'd like to give all honor to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, who strengthens me. I would not be here without him. That's a fact. Unfortunately, it took prison for me to rediscover him, but I'll get to that. I have a sobriety date of October 25th, 2003. October 24th, 2003, I drank to excess is an understatement. Celebrating what I pictured as kind of a big win in my temporal mind at that time. I was in IT, switched over to the mortgage side of things, and during that period of time, it was during that boom, that bubble. Profits were astronomical. I was looking at our parking lot that was full of nice Beamers turned into Ferraris and really crazy stuff. So I jumped on that side. Mr. Big Stuff, drank and drank and drank, partied that same day. Got in my vehicle and caused a massive pileup on the 405 freeway. But even that wasn't as direct as you might think. God has a way of kind of showing me over the years that he's been there. I've chosen at times to ignore that presence, but he was always with me. I come from a Catholic background, went to Catholic school, church every Sunday. So we had a Christian background, but my Catholicism never led me to like a personal relationship with God. It was more of this is what we have to do. We go to church. We don't eat meat on Fridays. We go through the motions. We believe in God and all that, but that's about it. Through some hardships, that relationship grew. It was by fits and starts at the beginning, but that relationship grew. And I'd like to get on that. I know you've heard my full story, but I'd like to put a little more emphasis on the spirituality and the energy behind it. So coming from that Catholic background, went through some things, had an absentee mother, absentee father, was raised by my grandfather who was a ranger. So a lot of love, but he was Irish and Irish Catholic ranger. You could imagine how that brought me up. And I joke often about, I don't know whether he was just kind of innately passing on some of these things to me or trying to train me to become a special forces operative like he was. But due to the things that he taught me, I was never found in hide and seek and all these other games that normal kids are enjoying. I'm in full camo and you're not finding me. I'm in a tree for 5 hours till it gets dark, and go in, and that was me as a 6-year-old. So a little background into that. But there were times where my mom would try to come back into my life, and one of those times was after my grandfather had gone to prison as a result of an attempted murder charge on her boyfriend, one of her boyfriends at the time. That's a story in and of itself. He was drunk as well, but he witnessed my mother getting beaten by this guy, and ex-army operative, always armed, and that was that. They initially charged him with mayhem in court, and the only reason he got it dropped down, mayhem carries a life sentence. The only reason that got dropped down is, and it was shocking to me as a 10-year-old sitting in court hearing this, but when they asked him if he'd had anything to do differently that day, he said he would, instead of carrying his .32, he'd make sure he had his .45 and put all 6 rounds in the guy's head before he hit the floor. So then they reduced the charges to attempted murder. So I'm taking all this in as a 10-year-old, and granddad was gone. He got sentenced to 8 years. He ended up only doing half time. That was the 80s. Ended up doing 4 years. But during that time, my grandmother and I and my 2 sisters were kind of left to fend for ourselves. So we were, she was a stay-at-home mom. So, we were homeless for a while. My mother came back in the scene again, saying she was going to take care of the mortgage and take care of all these things, all the promises. She's always popped in, promised the world, disappeared. I got used to that, used to disappointment constantly. This was no different, except it was a little more brutal, because this time she's like, don't worry, we'll take care of everything. And a few months later, the sheriffs are at our door, put us out on the street with the clothes on our back, locked the house up. So that was the first time I lost everything that I owned. I would do that 2 more times. Every single thing that I owned, culminating in the last one when I went to prison. So these are some of the things that shaped me, and some of the behaviors I examined and mimicked as a child, when I grew up. I was still a man child, but, we were taught that, at least I was taught by watching, that alcohol was the way to handle your problems. My grandfather drank. My mom drank. Everybody drank to some extent. It was what you did. You drank to celebrate. You drank to mourn. You drank to drown your troubles. It was drink. Now, because I was an athlete, I never touched anything till about 18, when things were getting really bad. In my home at that point, I was living with my mom and her husband, who was a Southern Baptist minister, and he was very abusive. He used to put hands on me often, for any little reason. But during that period of time, this is when she saw her opening, I think my mom did, when my granddad went to prison, came in, snatched us up, brought us to Huntington Beach, which that move was probably the best thing that ever happened to me, but the process, not so much. I did everything in my power to stay out of the house. I lettered in 3 sports. I had 2 or 3 jobs at any given time. I was trying to stay out of the house at all times. And it didn't matter. As soon as I got home, why didn't you take out the trash? Like I did. And then I'm punched, I'm hit, all of that. So at that point, my goal in life was to get as big as possible so I could beat the hell out of this dude at one point. I was football, so lifted weights, did all these things for all the wrong reasons. But it came to a point in time where I had to go. Moved out on my own. And with my girlfriend at the time, who later would become my wife, all misguided. So I'll fast forward a little bit to that night in question. That day in question was a strange one. So it was the week before Halloween, and Halloween was probably still is my favorite holiday, but this was something that we went all out on every year. I won Halloween costume contests everywhere. We go on the club circuit at every electric club and bar in Hollywood. I won 500, 600, covered the bar tab for the night. So we took it very seriously, even though I probably spent 2 or 3 times that on the costume. But it was just for the point of it. This particular year was off. It just didn't feel right. This was mid-celebration. Maybe by my 3rd bar at the Irvine Spectrum, I ended up in a bar. Let's see, I guess we started in the food court. Started with sake, then jumped over. And mind you, the bars I'm about to name were subsequently closed because of me. They're not there anymore because of this accident.
wow.
Rock Bottom Brewery, you may remember that.
Yeah.
I was there that night. That was brought up in testimony. Rock Bottom
my
Brewery
sister-
closed that location. I
My
went
sister
from
worked there.
I was there. I went from there to the Fox Sports Grill. That was my last stop.
shit. Yeah.
Fox Sports Grill no longer there. That was my trail of tears, if you will, that night. So between Rock Bottom Brewery and Fox Sports Grill, I stopped at Hot Topic as usual to find
Yeah.
something. We always stop at Hot Topic for crazy club shirts or what have you. But this time, I realized that I hadn't gotten anything for Halloween. I'm normally months in advance. This year, everything was just off. But screw it, we're going to be making up to like $15K a week right now. We're not even originating anything. They're calling us. Screw it. I was in a worldly mindset. And I realize now I was possibly even under some kind of demonic influence, to be honest with you. It was way off. Something didn't feel right. So I'm in Hot Topic, and I decide, you know what? I'm going to just be the devil this year.
Stop. That's
Right?
crazy.
The elaborate guy. Yeah, elaborate. This year, I'm just going to be the devil. I'm going to wear all black. I'm going to paint my nails black. And I'm going to get this cane here from Hot Topic. It was a human spine with a serpent skull on the top of it. That appealed to me all of a sudden. Ran out to the car, threw that in the trunk of the car I call the death car now. That was in the trunk at the whole time. Then I went over to Fox Sports Grill. It was a blur. I got into it with somebody at a bar, through my phone, through my two-way pager at the time. This was 2003. Wake up. I was blackout. So I'd come to, I was in the valet trying to get the keys to my buddy Z06 for some reason. I don't know why I'm trying to get his keys. Next thing, I flash. My wife's there. I'm at my car, it was a supercharged SS Camaro. I promptly take the tops off, throw the T-tops in the trunk, and then I get in the passenger seat. She's going to drive. So we pull out of there, get onto Irvine Center Drive, and there's a guy in a vet in front of me, and the light goes green. He doesn't turn. So I'm yelling through the T-tops, hey, a-hole, go, what is wrong with you? And he gets out of the car, and I see a gun in his waist. So at that point, I'm opening my glove box to find my gun. It wasn't in the car that day, which was a good thing. Oddly enough, it was not in there. Some of my friends even quipped on that. I was always rolling with, I always had a pistol in the car. It's just upbringing in LA, I guess. But I jumped out. It's like, no gun. He draws down on me. I move over to the side of the car to block my wife. And there's yelling. She's yelling at the guy. I'm yelling at the guy. He freaks out. He gets back in his car, cuts from the left lane, goes all the way over about 3 lanes and turns right. At that point, my adrenaline's pumping. I'm behind the wheel of my car. I'm smashed. So I hop in this thing, and then I go the other way. He goes right, I go left. I jump on the 405 freeway, and as I'm rounding that turn, I see him coming up behind me. He's starting to follow me. So I'm like, man, this vet can't keep up with me, and I stab it. Broke the back end loose. I'm squirrely down the freeway and smash. Pile up. I don't know how many cars were involved, but from what I understand, I hit my victim's Suburban in the quarter panel, and it went off the road, rolled like 5 or 6 different times, and hit a tree somewhere near Jamboree. The only 2 people not wearing seatbelts in the vehicle were ejected and killed. I didn't find that out till much later. I get off at MacArthur, I believe it was, round the corner to the gym over there. The rims on my car are just now stars. I had these 21 star spoked rims on it. There's no rim around them. They look like ninja stars rolling on the crazy. Blackout again. I'm in the back of the police car. Blackout again. I wake up. I'm throwing up in county jail. Get to make my phone call. On the way to the phone call, the guy said, hey, you killed some people out there today. And I'm like, F you. I don't believe that. Don't tell me anything. Call my wife. She's crying. She confirms. And then at that point, just something broke inside of me. Like, this is happening. And, yeah, something just kind of broke right there. went back to my cell and just kind of stared until the chaplain came by. They sent the chaplain over, and the chaplain gave me this little Bible, which I still have to this day. And I just started reading it. I had nothing else. I hadn't opened a Bible in years, but I just felt compelled to read it, and I couldn't put it down. And I hung on to it like it was the life vest that it actually was. So I was in county jail almost 2 years, kind of fighting that case. Even though I got recommended for probation by the probation officer, the nature of the charges got changed. So in the last act of arrogance, you call it, I don't know what the heck you'd call it, but I ended up getting Christopher Darden from the O.J. Simpson trial to defend me because he was a criminal defense attorney at that point. Now, he couldn't convict O.J., so logic should have told me that why the hell are you hiring him to defend you? But hey, you're not thinking. Threw a bunch of money at him, and he lost. When they saw him coming, though, it was a big stink. Now, the newspaper people were there. The reporters were there for me, who's essentially nobody. But Christopher Darden was a spectacle that I realized was a mistake in retrospect. But again, God's plan, all part of God's plan. If he did get me off, I probably would have been 10 times worse. So I needed that. But long story short, I think his very presence, they dismissed the DA that was trying my case, put in a deputy DA. They dismissed my charges and boosted them from manslaughter to second-degree murder, even though I had no priors, because they assumed Darden was going to get them dropped back down to the original charges, which he didn't. So I got sentenced to 18 years and 8 months to life in prison on a first offense. Never had a DUI, never had anything. So right out of the gate, I went to level 4. I'm walking the yard with legit hardened criminals for essentially a drunk driving case. And I don't want to minimize it by any stretch, because at that time I thought, this is what I deserved. There are people that are not here anymore because of me, and I still have my Bible. So I made it a point, even though I had no idea when I might be getting out, that I was going to make some changes. Drinking, obviously, that was not an option anymore. Even though it was a lot of that stuff flown around in prison, you could pretty much find whatever the hell you wanted in prison. So you had to really kind of be dedicated to staying clean on everything. But I stuck to my Bible. I started meditating on the Word every single day, and Proverbs 27:17 pops into mind as iron sharpens iron. One man sharpens another. So I started surrounding myself with Christians, surrounding myself with people I thought were brothers inside. And we just kind of stayed out of the way. People looked at us for what they were. They made assumptions about me. And I let them. Later on, laughing to myself, I would find out that everybody thought I was a contract killer just because of the way I spoke, and that I had two murder charges. So I let them, kept them away from me. Got into plumbing as well on the side. Facilitated a lot of groups. Eventually worked my way up to Alcoholics Anonymous chairman. So I was running the groups every week for that. Plumbing during the day, groups all night. My time was completely occupied, and if I had anything left, I was in college. So just that was my goal, even not knowing if I'd ever go home. I knew I had 18 years to do before I even got to the board, was going to get to the board. Again, I picked up the trade, plumbing. Didn't want anything to do with that. That was way beneath me, even in my former life. If the sink was dripping, I'd spend any amount of money to make somebody make it stop. So I end up getting heavily involved in plumbing. Got taken under the wing of some union guys who were on site building, and I actually learned from union plumbers, learned the trade the right way, according to the Uniform Plumbing Code. And that ended up changing my life forever once I got on the outside. I'll fast forward a little bit to ended up at a little prison called California Men's Colony over some time, a place I was told I would never be able to go. God working his magic as usual, because there's no electric fence there, so lifers were not allowed to be there. This is where Robert Downey Jr. went, Suge Knight went, movie stars went. I ended up there by the grace of God again. Made no sense. Nobody knows how. They're just following it. Got called into the office after about 4 or 5 years of programming there. I'm probably in my 13th year at that time, 13th and a half year at that time. And yeah, time flew. 13 and a half year at that time. And I'm thinking somebody died. They call you the program office, somebody died. So I'm like, okay, heart dropped. Captain come to talk to me. That was very rare. I knew all of them. I was the upstanding guy. Never 14 years, never a write-up, nothing. Led every group. All the cops knew me for the right reasons. Oh boy. Okay, so they hit me up and say, hey, we got this email from the governor's office. And I'm like, okay. And they're like, are you ready to go to the board? They want to send you to the board. And I'm like, I thought I wasn't supposed to go for another 5 years. They're like, we don't know what's going on either. Are you ready? I'm like, of course. They sent me 60 days later. And as anybody in the system knows, it's almost impossible to get granted parole on your first trip, especially for murder charges. I got granted parole first time in. The DA didn't dispute it, which was very strange. Victims' families didn't show up. It was very, very interesting. But again, God at work constantly. And I got released October 31st, Halloween. It came back full circle again. That was my release date, was
That's
October
insane.
31st,
That's insane.
2018, or excuse me, 2017. So yeah, that Halloween thing, man, it was, those are the little things, the little subtleties that the Lord lets me know he's speaking to me. That's my language, because it's like, aside from the fact, I'm leaving out a whole lot because of the crash. As you know, there was a Secret Service agent involved, all kinds of crazy stuff, but I just wanted to put more of the focus on the spirituality behind it. But yeah, it wasn't as simple as me driving and running from that guy. That guy turned out to be one of George Bush's 8 personal guard. So evidence disappeared, all kinds of funny business I don't want to get into, but all that evidence showed back up at my hearing. Evidence we had been looking for over a decade. They had there. I saw it on the table. I'm like, they're like, don't ask. I'm like, okay. So here I am now. By the grace of God, I'm still a journeyman plumber. I'm still licensed in all 50 states, but I'm a project manager at this point. I don't actually wrench anymore. Oddly enough, the money is about the same as it was during those days when I was chasing the Ferraris and everything at the mortgage company. And so that was the other full circle moment. It's like, I don't do regular plumbing. It's when Disneyland wants to set up a new ride and they need plumbing, they call me. That's my client, is Disney, is USC, so it's very interesting stuff I didn't even know existed, but this is what God puts in front of you when you show that you're faithful, I think. But again, I'm blessed to be here. Hopefully this touches somebody and somebody needed to hear something that I had to say. Thank you guys for having me.
I mean, bro, I just cannot even,
know, I
after
can't.
hearing it this time, this is more powerful to me, because I really do like the fact that you went into a lot of stuff deeper into the spiritual stuff, and it really made me realize, as you're saying this, is like, God, that evidence disappeared because of God. One, because he needed to strip you to the fact that you were possibly doing the rest of your life in prison. And then when he knew you were ready, he just reappeared, came down, And here you are, man. It's funny because you were getting out of prison, and I was sober, but I was fighting all of my stuff when you were getting out of prison. You know, and it was just kind of cool to hear it because, like, I think that was like October was the last when I got sentenced on the very end on my DUI and a driving on a suspended license was in October, and I had to go in for 10 days with half, but I had also had a whole bunch of others. I racked up 19 charges in a 3-week period in 2016. Wow. You know, assault on a police officer, felony evading the police, just stuff that we do.
Yeah.
When we're out of our mind. Well,
Yeah, it's
also
not normal.
I also thought I had a flux capacitor on my car because, like, I'm a meth addict, so like I go deep into, you know, psychosis, and I don't sleep for days. And
He thinks it's
a
Back
lot
to
of
the
people,
Future.
a lot of people don't know what a flux capacitor is. And if you've never watched Back to the Future, like Emily has no
Yeah,
clue
you're
what
right.
I'm talking about. You
have?
Okay. Well, the flux capacitor is a time travel device that they put on the DeLorean, and yeah, I put one on a Lamborghini. I thought, right? But man, powerful, my friend.
Wait, so what was the total time you did?
14 years and 8 months.
Damn.
On 18 years and 8 months.
I want to be clear though. 18 years, 8 months with an L.
With an L. So there's no guarantee.
There's no
Right,
guarantee that
right.
you get out with an L.
No. If it had gone to the way it was supposed to go, 18 years, 8 months served, now I get a shot at it.
Yeah.
If you don't get it, you come back in 3 years.
3 years, yeah.
We need to have him on the podcast because I want to ask so many questions, but
Yeah.
also
Well, yeah, can we bring you back on the full
Anytime.
podcast, man?
yeah.
Anytime.
We
so
would love
good.
to have you on because your story is just incredible and powerful, and I could see as the on the chat so much you know, love and amens and thank you Jesus, you know.
For sure.
Anytime.
For sure. It's insane.
Should we open this bad boy up?
Yeah, let's open it up.
Is that Matt with his hand up right
yeah.
there? Matt.
What's up, family? How's everybody doing, man? Matt, grateful, recovering addict.
Hey, Matt.
How you doing, Matt?
Hey, Steph, man, super powerful, brother.
Thank you, sir.
So much that I can relate to. My time in prison was due to a car wreck as well. 2003. Just real quick.
Same year as me.
Driving highly intoxicated. Fell asleep at the wheel. Car hit another car head on, and thankfully nobody lost their life. But I hurt some people real bad, man. And judge gave me aggravated vehicular assault for every person that was in the car accident besides myself, and ran them all 3 years apiece. Ran 2 of the charges concurrent, everything else consecutive, and gave me 6 years altogether from 03 to 09. I wish I could say prison woke me up. Not at all. Prison made me worse. While I was there, I mean, I mostly did good. I mean, I got a college degree in prison, like a real college degree, like textbooks, real college professors. Left with a 3.96 GPA, but you know, I got high a couple times in prison, man. Drank hooch and everything, man. You know, fights more than a few, and you know, came out in 09, and I was good. I was supposed to be on what they call PRC, post release control, because where I was they ended parole but picked up the same thing anyway. I was on it for 3 years. I did a year and a half, and I was mostly good for the year and a half. But after that, man, it was wide open. But man, to be able to do what you did, and to walk the straight and narrow, man. I know the layout, I know the environment,
Right.
and it's not easy. It's not easy, man. And to be able to come out and do that amount of time, and I'm glad I got 6 years too, man. Because if the judge had only gave me like 2 or 3, you know, I mean, it wouldn't have done me any good at all. I wouldn't have
Right.
bettered myself at all. But I don't know, man. Just powerful story, man, and real good stuff to hear, man. And I appreciate you, man, definitely.
Thanks.
And good to see you doing good. And just to end it off like I normally do, man. Anybody who feels like you can't make it, I promise you can, man. I
True.
promise you can. And that's it, man. This world's a better place with you in it.
Thank
Love you,
sir.
man.
Love you guys.
Appreciate
Love
it.
you, Matt.
What was that, Emily? Was that like a?
No, that was look at Joel's laughing at that little new. I know it's his picture, but it looks like he's laughing
Oh, I know.
at that.
It's like the best photo
Like,
ever. I
dude.
feel like he's always
When
like.
I
feel
looked
like
up
he's
and I
on.
thought like when Joel saw that and when I
Guys-
looked up I thought he was like, did you guys see how I changed the way the clock ends?
It's so his picture. Literally, I need to recreate because
I know, me
it looks
too.
so like.
Dude,
For
we could
realsies.
be on all of our Zooms.
I know.
And people would think
No
that we
clue.
had our
I'm
camera
like in
on.
some other room.
Yeah. Hi Donna.
Hi, Donna.
Huh?
No, if you unmute her, she'll
She'll
disappear.
leave. I think. Can we unmute you, Donna?
Yeah, we love you, Donna.
We won't unmute you.
We love you, little bunny. Yes. See, well done, Emily. She's in the chat.
I think she's saying that to me. Anyways, sorry guys, that's my wife. She's the most amazing human on the planet.
Mine too.
Your wife too?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As long as it ain't Shane's.
Hell no.
Took you a little while.
Let's go. Who's next?
All right, who's up? Vaughn Lewis.
Baby. Let's go.
Oh yes, Vaughn.
Vaughn.
We'll see you Friday.
What's
Hopefully.
up, fam? I'm a grateful, recovering alcoholic, addict, trash can, and I'm grateful to be here. How are y'all doing?
Amazing.
Good.
Awesome. Steph, brother. Dude,
Yes,
that
sir.
share was powerful. If that's not a testimony to how good God is all the time, I don't know what is.
Yes, sir.
So raw, so powerful. That was absolutely incredible. Like, I'm so glad I tuned in tonight and heard it. Like, thank you so much for sharing with us.
Thank you.
Yeah, prison fucked me up.
Right.
It was all bad experiences from the get-go. Didn't change anything the day I got released. I got my gate money, bought a gun, was robbing meth dealers and stealing cars that night. So it took quite a few more years for me to pull my head out of my ass and actually, be able to see the forest through the trees and stuff. But that hole I was always trying to fill with drugs and alcohol, women, cars, money, that's a God-shaped hole that I was never going to fill with anything but God.
True.
And so much of my life has been in pursuit of, materialistic possessions, worldly things that at the end of the day never brought me any happiness, any joy. And I spent way too much time and money in pursuit of them to ultimately just be a not nice person and to be farther away from God. But it was absolutely incredible hearing your story, dude. And
Thanks, bro.
I would absolutely love to hear your full story again. And dude, that's amazing. But I'm looking forward to seeing you guys on Friday.
Oh, awesome.
Can't wait to be there.
Yes.
Some amazing. And Shane, I'm meeting you first.
Oh yeah, you didn't.
Yeah,
have
bro.
You didn't
Yeah,
have last
yeah. You
time,
got to
huh?
come up early. Come up early because I ditch. The
Shane,
second
like,
that prayer is over, I'm out the door, bro.
All right.
So-
6'9", tattooed head to toe.
You're 6'9".
Watch
Yeah,
out.
bro.
Watch out. Yeah,
That's
exactly.
funny. Look at him right there. He looks like you would never.
It doesn't look like he's a tall guy.
No, he is tall.
Wow, that is awesome. Okay, yeah, I'll
Yeah.
go for you, man.
Thanks, bud.
Cool.
definitely made me look like what am I allowed to say midget?
I don't think so.
No.
No?
Oh, because I mean I'm like almost
Unless you're
one.
saying it about yourself.
I am.
Yeah,
yeah.
well, then that's fine. I think. I don't know. Little person?
I play starting
Joking.
center for that league.
No, you don't.
Stupid.
We play on 6-foot hoops. I'm sorry, just making short jokes about myself.
Joey.
Joey.
Joey Ball.
Joey.
What up?
How you
How's
doing,
everybody
buddy?
doing?
Good.
Amazing.
Good, good. Happy to be here. Grateful for the meeting. Joey Ball, alcoholic addict. Steph, man, that was fucking huge, dude. I completely relate. At one point in my life, I was making more money than I knew what to do with, and didn't really do anything with it, but bought guitars and amps, and isolated myself. So with drugs and alcohol, and and lost it. And that wasn't even my fault, which led to more drinking and more drugs. And but I can relate to losing everything. I can also relate to doing some time. I just got done doing a little bit of time and getting out. And by the grace of God, I got sober again in jail. 9 years ago, I got 2 years and went back out for 7 after my mother passed away. That's kind of what I've been reminding people here when I get on these meetings, is to not make my mistake, to stay with it. If you're here for the first time, make your first and last. But man, thank you for that share.
You're welcome. Thank you.
It's just wild that you made it through, and what you needed was patience, acceptance, and forgiveness, and God gave you all three, man. So
Absolutely.
congratulations.
Absolutely.
You're a walking testament to what we all need, man. So God bless you. God bless everybody in the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, bro.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, Joey.
How many of us have such an allergic reaction to alcohol and drugs that we break out in handcuffs?
All of us.
Because that's what seems to happen to so many of us, right?
Mm-hmm. That's like not normal behavior. So anytime anybody's questioning whether or not they are or not, it's a good indicator.
That's a really good indicator.
Yeah.
If every time
Yeah,
you go out,
yeah,
you end up in handcuffs.
Yeah, or you wake up all of a sudden and you're in a cell. Not good.
Not good at all.
Not good.
Here he is.
Oh, wow. Emily did it before the boys, Chuck.
Chuck.
Wow.
Chuck is in the house. It's the one,
do it.
the only Chuck
Zimno.
There you go.
Man,
Doc.
you guys are nuts, man.
I know.
I was telling my wife about you this morning. It was so funny. I was like, Chuck's coming out, and she's like,
Yeah, I'll be out Thursday late in the morning. I'll be flying in on John Wayne
Oh my
Airport.
God, how cool.
nice. So,
I know.
he's got to come. We got to
What's
get
our
that all
Thursday?
scheduled.
Want me to come pick you up, Chuck?
I mean, I don't care. I'll take shuttle service. First class. Shit, I'll take it. No big deal here. I'm not used to that kind of stuff.
Oh, Chuck.
I'm used to people calling me other names than that name, Chuck. So, not today
No.
though. Used to,
Not today.
but no.
Um,
No, my previous life, I had a lot of other names that were discussed. I'm an alcoholic. My name's Chuck. I'm grateful I woke up today instead of coming to. And man, that story that's a miracle story there. That's a miracle story by leaps and bounds. I'm listening to it and I'm like, that's me, all the way through. I remember my accident. It brought me back to my DUI. Luckily, it was just me involved, but all those memories come back. All those things come back, and I relive those little moments as he's talking. I'm like, man, I remember coming to when my face hit the steering wheel. I remember coming to when I made a phone call. I remember coming to when I'm in the ambulance. I remember all those little things. I know he said he threw up. I did the same thing, but I threw up on a nurse's shoe. So, I mean, I remember those things, but I also remember somebody else saying that's me in the other room laying, and I'm laying in the whatchamacallit there, the gurney or whatever it is. And that was my dad. He's also in recovery, and he's like, I see me right there, and I distinctly heard that voice in the distance. Now, is that a God moment? I would think so. I think somebody was talking to me that day. And ever since then, I just boots in the ground, and then and ran from there, and got back in the rooms. Luckily, you know, I didn't go to prison yet, but I sat in a holding cell. That wasn't long enough for me to say this is not for me. And man, that story is powerful. You got to have him back because I want to hear the whole thing. You know, if he's out this Friday, I'm going to pick his brain too. So that's all I got tonight, guys.
Amazing.
Awesome.
Can't wait to see you, Chuck.
And that is perfect time for our intermission about this Friday night. This Friday night is the Hopeaholics 2-year anniversary. We have our Recover Out Loud meeting from 6 to 8 p.m. right here in beautiful San Juan Capistrano at Hope by the Sea. And to bribe everybody who's local, local.
Both.
Yeah.
Both. We have the In-N-Out truck, so come for a free burger
Or grilled cheese.
or grilled cheese if you're vegetarian.
I know, right? I haven't had a grilled cheese ever from In-N-Out. I'm going to definitely have one on Friday.
For
just 'cause.
sure. And I'm going to have a double patty for sure.
Oh, me too.
Are you going to have, why don't you go for the 4x4, Shane?
Oh, I've tried the 4x4. I got
Or the
that's
3x3.
too full. Even if
I
that's
feel
too
like
much,
a 4x4
bro.
is like, no.
This is too much in your stomach. All that meat
Yeah.
just sitting there in your belly.
Yeah.
You know? Bueno.
Oh, look at Pastor Ian smiling and laughing at us right now. Doesn't it look like he is? Like we just cracked him up. Everybody look at Pastor Ian's picture. He's smiling and laughing.
Anthony G wants to fly out. You don't need a ticket, bro. You need a plane ticket. That's it. Plane ticket, fly into John Wayne Airport, stay somewhere in San Juan Capistrano. A lot of hotels around here. Text us, and I'll give you some options. Be nice to see you Friday.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good time.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
We got Janine from Chasing Heroin podcast coming to speak.
Oh my God, yeah. She's
Her story's hilarious, man.
Yeah, it is.
Literally, like, was locked in a
Whoa.
No,
doghouse.
no.
She was locked
She
in a doghouse.
She chose.
I mean, these are decisions that we make when we're loaded. She chose to live in
She
a
thought it was a
doghouse.
good idea.
But the boyfriend, the guy had to lock her in at night so that the
awesome.
girlfriend wouldn't find out that she was there. So it's
Mess.
I mean, when she tells it, it's way better than when I tell it. But it's still funny as hell.
Doghouse login. Fucking hilarious.
But like literally in.
Ow.
And Chuck was on. Chuck Zamzow is gonna. He gets to meet her in person because he was on the Chasing Heroin podcast as a guest. There's Ian. There's actual Ian right there. The real Ian. Make the laughing face because that was funny. I mean, it just like looked like you were cracking up at us, dude. Oh man, it's too much. I love this meeting, you guys. Joe B.
What up?
Hey.
What's going
Hey,
on,
Joe.
everybody? Hey, Nat. Hey, Chad. Shane.
Hey, buddy.
What's going on? To the speak, I forgot your name. I'm sorry,
Steph.
but that was.
Steph.
I didn't hear that. What?
Steph.
Like Curry.
There you go.
Steph Curry.
Steph.
Same
Steph
name.
like Curry.
Exactly
All right, cool.
the same name.
That was great, bro. The God aspect
Thank you.
was really what I focus on the most. I feel like he let you out of prison when he knew you were ready.
Yeah.
You know?
Correct.
We all tell ourselves, you know, oh, if you let, you know, the foxhole prayer, right?
Right.
But he knows,
Yes,
he knows we're
we-
not
we-
ready. So it's you did the time you had to do, and he gave you a second chance, and you seem to be capitalizing on it, which is awesome. I went to a promises meeting. Every Monday I do a promises meeting in the morning, and the meeting was on freedom and happiness, right? The first promise. And it's pretty amazing how that promise came true because I couldn't be freer and I couldn't be happier. And it made me reflect on the only time I was happy when I was out there using, it wasn't even in the moment of using. It was when I was on my way.
Yeah.
Like if I'm driving to the bar or the restaurant, I'm happy.
The
Once I get there,
anticipation.
the happiness goes away, right? Because alcohol never really made me happy. It was the thought that made me happy. And the freedom, I've never been more free. I was always handcuffed one way or another by my disease. I never blamed the alcohol. I always protected it. I never blamed the drugs. I always protected it. And, the steps for me is what's really doing it also. I loved step 3. I still do. Step 4 and 5 are great, but 6 and 7 are the ones, man. I don't know, 6 and 7, all my defects. I was just a big defect looking for character, right? And now I'm just learning it's all fear. Everything is fear. And I have no fear right now. I've humbly asked God to remove that. That's what a shortcoming is. I don't know if anyone understands it and that's paying attention, but for me, I didn't understand the difference between a defect and a shortcoming. Basically, the defect is what we have: fear. I'm a liar. I'm a manipulator. I'm dishonest. And the shortcoming is to act on it, to be fearful,
Right.
to lie, to actually manipulate. So once I figured that out, like every decision I'm making right now, and I mean literally every decision I'm making right now, I'm going to him first. And then I'll go to a few other people in my network, and I won't make any impulsive decisions. I haven't made any rash decisions. And even if the decision I'm making doesn't seem like it's the right decision, I know it's right because it's his will, but sometimes you think, wow, this is such a sacrifice, but you make it anyway. And you feel good about that decision because you're 100% sure it's his will, it's the right decision. And that's the best part about this whole thing. I have not one regret. Every time I go to God and make a decision, there's no regret.
Right.
None whatsoever. And the fear has been removed, which makes it even easier for me to make these decisions. It's like this. Getting sober was one thing, right? Learning to live sober, that's the miracle in itself. It's amazing the things I'm able to handle right now. And I got to stop saying I need to start saying we, because I can't do this on my own. But the fact that every day things are coming at me and it's becoming easier to make these decisions. And that's all step work. That's all cutting out it's the people, places, and things isn't always about the bar, or the girl, or the means to financial prosperity. Sometimes it's when I'm sober. Other sober people could be a problem for me too. There's just if I get a bad vibe from you, or you don't bring any sort of productivity or positivity to my life, I'm done. I'll give you chances and I'll discuss it first, because who am I to throw stones? But if you're not taking the time and trying to fix certain things, and it's not just for me, it's for your own well-being, then I got no use for you. And I hate how that sounds, but it is what it is. I need peace in my life. And as long as I have God, and my God is also Jesus Christ, that dude is awesome. And as long as I have him and a couple of good friends, man, sky's the limit. And the feeling I get, it's unbelievable. It is unbelievable. I can't believe I didn't do this 25 years ago. I don't think I would have did it right 25 years ago. It happened exactly when it was supposed to happen.
Always.
But
Yeah,
man,
but you're
am I
doing it right
grateful for
now.
Yeah, I'm grateful for it, because I wouldn't give this up for anything. Anything in the world. You told me right now to give you $10 million to pick up a drink, I'd say no. I really mean that. I would say no. So this is where I'm at. This is where I want to continue to be. And I'm going to keep coming because of it. Thank you, guys.
That a boy, Joe.
Thanks, Joe.
I love it.
I mean, bro, 10 million, I can make that sober.
Absolutely.
But if
And
I
survive to spend it.
and survive to spend it, and maybe pass it down to my children. But if I take a drink and you give me $10 million, I might lose it all and my life.
It will. You will lose it all because you made a deal with the devil.
Yeah.
And you want to be able to be okay with that.
So I feel you on that, Joe. And Joe, I also want to tell you that, hey, it's not too late to get a plane ticket. I'm telling all of y'all, it's not too late. It's Tuesday. Today is Tuesday. The meeting is on Friday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So think about this.
Unmute him.
If you're on the East Coast, okay, unmute Joe. He's got something to say.
I have to go to court. And then I took a commitment for a sober dance.
A sober dance?
Yeah, it's
Get
pretty
it,
cool.
Joe.
It's a pajama party, so it's
Whoa.
pretty cool.
Oh, whoa!
Yeah, bro. Staten Island, we do it big.
13th
out here.
step.
Staten Island.
13th
Yeah,
step.
exactly.
No, I got one piece of
But,
advice. Look
you
for the
know-
girl. Look for the girl wearing the pajamas backwards.
I'm gonna wear a robe, I think. To be honest.
Smart.
I think that's
Smart.
what I'm gonna go
You
with.
taking a page out of Shane's
There you
playbook?
go.
Shane's got
Wait,
the
did he
best-
just say
Shane's
he's gonna
got
wear a
the
robe?
second best book.
Yeah.
Can I get a raise of
Guys,
hands?
it's about that time.
It is about that time,
Let's
but
dance on out.
I need a raise of something. If anybody went on the channel the other day when Shane posted that funny inappropriate video, that's just the beginning. It was
You
very
guys see me dancing in the thong?
it was very
On that
Steve-O.
note, let's Emily,
time
let's dance
I'm
on
on
out of
here.
here.
I'm
Dance.
sorry, guys.
All right, guys.
Wait, I have a question. I'm so sorry. The Hopeaholics anniversary started March 14th.
No.
Well, I mean, that's just the day we're celebrating it. This month was the first month that we ever did a podcast
I
2
got
years
you.
ago.
In 2023. My sober day is 3/13/2023. I thought it was aligned with itself. But
No.
that's pretty cool, man. Keep doing what you guys are doing.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, buddy.
We ain't stopping until 300 million people have heard our voice, and fentanyl has been eradicated.
And people know that help is available and hope is alive because it is.
Well, and also that the stigma from mental health and addiction is gone.
Yeah, there's
So
a
it
solution.
sounds to me like we're gonna be here a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Fighting
I
with
got
all
time.
of you guys.
I got time.
Yeah,
You got time?
No,
I've got time.
no, I really don't.
I'm trying to get out.
I really
I've
don't
been
have
keeping
time.
track of the correct time.
Shane, your time is
Now.
getting shorter and shorter.
It is.
Oh wow.
It is.
Okay, let's dance on out of here, Emily.
All right, everybody,
Let's
turn
go.
your cameras on.
Steph,
Donna,
thank you
turn
very
your
much.
camera
Thank
on.
you for
Appreciate
having
you.
me. Thank you.
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh yeah, put your
Oh.
sorry, hands up in the air. We're the
Hands
only ones
up,
that do this.
baby, hands up.
God,
God,
Grab
grant me
it.
the serenity
to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference.
Amen. See you guys
Amen.
next week or
Love you
Friday
guys.
night. One of the two.
Friday night.
Friday night.
Friday.